Seaborne trade has been integral to economic growth all over the world, as it remains the cheapest and the most efficient method of transporting large volumes of cargo over large distances. This is especially relevant to oil and gas shipments, a vast majority of which are transported via the sea. Consequently, sea lanes of communication or SLOC protection has become a crucial condition for the sustenance and growth of regional economies. During the times of peace, the sea lanes of communications serve as commercial trading routes, but they are also seen as strategic highways that give countries access to resources in faraway places. During war, these routes are considered strategic paths. A SLOC is a route taken by a ship to transit from point A to point B. In maritime terms, it should be short, economical, and safe for transporting cargo. The SLOCs are also referred to as the arteries of a region's economy. The SLOCs vary in length depending on the geography in terms of landmass, choke points, reefs, foul grounds, and locations of ports and harbors. The Indian Ocean region is home to important SLOCs and maritime choke points. So let's talk about the various SLOCs that crisscross the Indian Ocean and the choke points therein. Starting from the east, the first sea lane of communication is the Strait of Malacca, which is the main passage between the Indian Ocean and the South China Sea. It is 600 miles long and 300 miles wide on its western side. Heading east, it narrows considerably into the Phillip Channel and the Strait of Singapore. It is relatively shallow, with some points just 72 feet deep. The length of Singapore Strait, which connects Malacca with the South China Sea, is 75 nautical miles, with an overall width of less than 12 nautical miles. The second SLOC is wider and deeper, that is the Lombok Strait. It is less congested than the Strait of Malacca and quite often is used as an alternative passage. It is sometimes used for the largest tankers transiting between the Persian Gulf and Japan, and it is considered to be the safest route. The third SLOC is the 50-mile-long Strait of Sunda, another alternative to Malacca Strait. Because the currents are strong and depth of water is limited, deep draft ships do not use this strait. In the north, it is particularly shallow and dangerous, and therefore it is not heavily used. The Strait of Malacca of Singapore is considered to be the busiest in the world. The fourth SLOC is the one connecting the Red Sea to the Indian Ocean through the Bab el-Mandab that transports the bulk of Asia's international trade with its major trading partners in Europe and America. The Bab el-Mandab Strait connects the Red Sea to the Indian Ocean. It's located in the Horn of Africa between Eritrea and Djibouti and Yemen on the Arabian Peninsula. The fifth SLOC is connecting the Persian Gulf to the Indian Ocean through the Strait of Hormuz, transporting the bulk of energy exports to major import destinations like India, China, ASEAN nations, and East Asia. Now let's talk about the choke points. What's a choke point? Choke points are strategic, narrow passages that connect two larger areas to one another. When it comes to maritime trade, these are typically straits or canals that see high volumes of traffic because of their optimal location. So where are these choke points in the Indian Ocean region? The 7 key choke points in the Indian Ocean region are the Mozambique Channel, the Bab el-Mandab, the Suez Canal, the Strait of Hormuz, the Malacca Straits, and the Sunda Straits, and the Lombok Straits. First of all, let me tell you what is the expanse of the Indian Ocean region. It is from the eastern coast of Africa to the Malacca Straits, which is the Indonesian peninsula. So all this area, including Maldives, Sri Lanka, they all fall into the Indian Ocean region. So coming back to the key choke points, starting with the Mozambique Channel. It is an arm of the Indian Ocean located between Southeast African countries of Madagascar and Mozambique. The channel is about 1,700 kilometers, 900 nautical miles long and 419 kilometers, that is around 226 nautical miles across at its narrowest point, and reaches a depth of around 3,292 meters. The second choke point is the Bab el-Mandeb, or the Gate of Grief, or the Gate of Tears. This is a strait between Yemen on the Arabian Peninsula and Djibouti and Eritrea in the Horn of Africa. The third choke point is the Suez Canal, which is an artificial sea level waterway in Egypt, connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea through the Isthmus of Suez and dividing Africa and Asia. This 194-kilometer long canal is a key trade route between Europe and Asia. The Strait of Hormuz is a strait between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. It provides the only sea passage from the Persian Gulf to the open ocean and is one of the world's most strategically important choke points. On the northern coast lies Iran, and on the southern coast lies UAE, United Arab Emirates, and Oman. The strait is about 90 nautical miles long, with a width varying from about 52 nautical miles to 21 nautical miles at the narrowest. So these are the 4 choke points in the Indian Ocean region, and the rest 3, that is the Malacca, the Sunda and the Lombok, I have explained earlier. Do keep watching our YouTube channel bharatshakti.in for these interesting and informative videos. Thank you.